Today we're going to replace the front speaker on a Honda Accord. We just finished with the rear speakers and wire codes for hooking up rear speakers. If you can't find it here, see our website. But we're going to start with a Phillips screwdriver and a small flathead screwdriver and start in the armrest here. And there's a little tab here that requires being pried on from a little mark from the back. And this should help bring this little panel right up. Here we go. Get it from both sides. This will release up and out, and this is going to access one Phillips screw here in the opening. Most of the screws here on this panel are the same. There is one different one. We'll point that one out when we get to it. Next we're going to move to the back edge of the door, and with our flathead screwdriver remove the cap to that opening here and remove this exposed screw. We have a full library of removal guides, including the stereo and, as mentioned before, the rear speakers for installing those as well on our website. Next we're going to move up to the little opening here where the door handle is. There is another small panel here that we're going to attempt to pry away from the panel as well. Okay, I'm going to need a smaller pick tool. And this clip will pull back and allow you to access the screw that's in here as well. Put that cap back on when we put it back together. This is the one screw that is a little bit different than the others. This one has a slight collar on it here at the bottom that we're going to make sure gets back to this spot. At the front of the panel we have one more clip, and usually going behind the panel and pulling the panel forward releases this clip. There we go, and then we can pop the clip out. Now back at the door handle, we're going to take our pry bar and we're going to pry this assembly forward. There's 3 hooks on the back of this that attach to the door, and we have to move it forward in order to get it to release. Okay, I just did it on the other side. Oh, I guess I was there. And this will allow you to move the panel. It is attached with the metal linkage, and we have a connector here on the front that for the door locks. And I'm going to push the trigger down on this connector and remove it. The connectors all on this door panel are keyed. They only go back to one spot. This is the connector. The trigger is on the top. You push that down and it releases. Now we have the linkage at the back. Today we're going to use the pick tool with a 90 degree on the end to show you how to release the clips on the door handles for the Honda. And this will, the clip will be similar to this one. I have a yellow clip here. I also have a black clip which is very similar but clicks from the other side. But when you get to the linkage, it's going to be connected to this clip which goes down into the door panel here. And when the end of the clip is in, it's secured into the clip. But you have to remove the linkage from this opening. And in order to do that, you have to push on the side of the clip because there is a slight opening here on the side. And when you push that clip around, it swings around, and you're able to lift the linkage back up and out. Now this works for the black clip as well. However, the clip's on the opposite side, and it will come around into the opening and clip on this way. And to release it, you have to push it from this side to allow it to spin out, and then it'll lift up out of the opening. This linkage with a pair of needle nose right up out of the opening once that clip, and this will remove the panel. Now this is going to allow you to go to the bottom edge of the panel, and we're going to pry the panel from the door and pull this back and lift it up out of the door. The only difference between this door and the passenger's door is once you remove this panel, there is one more hidden screw that's in this opening that needs to be removed for this panel to come back. So we're going to lift this panel back away from the door, releasing all the clips, up out of the door jamb, up and away from the door. Now this is going to give us access to the back of the door panel here, and these have connectors all with triggers on them that release. There we go, and one remaining one up here. See if we can locate the trigger on it. There it goes. This one had a trigger up the top. This one had a trigger towards the center as well. The small one had a trigger here as well. These are all different connectors. They only go back to one spot. Now we're going to have to reach down to the courtesy light at the back of the door panel, push the trigger in, and lift that one. Now we're going to check the door panel, make sure all the clips got removed when the door panel came off. We have one missing right here that's still on the door that we can take off of the door and place back onto the panel. Now this gives us access to the speaker. Obviously this was a distorted speaker because we can see the foam surround is deteriorated and disappeared from the speaker. So this speaker needs to be replaced. We have 3 screws securing this speaker to the car. And with these 3 screws removed, we can remove this speaker. The speaker will come off the door. There is a speaker connector here. I'm going to pull these wires a little bit to give us a little bit of play in them. And this connector again has triggers on both sides that we need to squeeze in and remove. What we're going to do now is see our website for the color code on these speakers. We're going to open up the back of this connector. This will give us a few centimeters extra. We're going to cut this connector off. Splice on the aftermarket wire harness that comes with the speakers you've purchased, and then splice these wires together. Again, our color codes on the website for which is positive and negative and phasing, so on. See our website for help there. Hope this video has been helpful. Please subscribe, and thank you for watching.